I want to show y'all this and understand this goes back to a problem with a tree. When you have a tree that is producing nothing but bad fruits, you have to go to the root of the problem. Understand that. And what we see happening in Afghanistan right now. Let's see what the root of the problem actually was in ESC that he made a peace agreement back with in February of 2020 with the Taliban. Let's see what he says about it.
And Secretary of Defense Mark Esper. And I'll be meeting personally with Taliban leaders in the not too distant future. And we'll be very much hoping that they will be doing what they say they're going to be doing. They will be killing terrorists. They will be killing some very bad people. They will keep that fight going. We've had tremendous success in Afghanistan in the killing of terrorists, but it's time, after all these years, to go and to bring our people back home. We want to bring our people back home. And again, it's been a long journey in Afghanistan in particular. It's been a very long journey. It's been a hard journey for everybody. We're very largely a law enforcement group, and that's.
Now realize what he had just said. That he was empowering is what he did in that peace agreement, that he was putting the Taliban in charge of policing their own nation. Now you understand why they left that military equipment behind. Everything that you see unfolding is a result of this peace agreement that Trump made with the Taliban. Listen to that first part again so you don't make any mistake where the root of the problem is. He made an agreement with the Taliban that they would be taking over the country. He made this agreement himself.
And Secretary of Defense Mark Esper. And I'll be meeting personally with Taliban leaders.
He would be meeting personally with the Taliban leaders
in the not too distant future. And we'll be very much hoping that they will be doing what they say they're going to be doing. They will be killing terrorists.
Make sure you understood that. He made an agreement with them, so this is supposedly the man, the art of the deal. So you can look at this two ways. He either, one, was fooled by the Taliban, which means he was an incompetent president, but I'm going to prove that wasn't the case. He knew the deal that he was making was going to collapse, and I'm going to unequivocally prove that in this video. You have to go to the root of the problem, people. The generals that are still in place right now are the ones that made this agreement, that are enforcing this agreement so that the Taliban could take over. See what else he has to say.
We have thousands of prisoners. We've killed ISIS fighters by the thousands. And likewise in Afghanistan, but now it's time for somebody else to do that work, and that'll be the Taliban, and it could be surrounding countries. There are many countries.
See, it was placed in the Taliban's hands by Donald Trump. He made that agreement with them. Let's see what he has to say about it. Let's see a little bit more.
Worse than Afghanistan. How about that? Worse than Afghanistan, where, by the way, I started the process. All the troops are coming back home. They couldn't stop the process. 21 years is enough, don't we think? 21 years. They couldn't stop the process. They wanted to, but it was very tough to stop the process when by a government that...
Realize that, what he just said. He started the process, he admitted to it, and that they couldn't stop the process because it was a peace agreement that they could not stop. because it was signed by many nations. It's part of the Abraham Accord. I want you to listen to that very closely again. He knew what he was doing when he made this deal. He wasn't fooled by it. He knew what was going to happen, and he knew it was going to fall apart. Listen closely again.
Worse than Afghanistan. How about that? Worse than Afghanistan, where, by the way, I started the process. All the troops are coming back home. They couldn't stop the process.
They couldn't stop the process. I started the process, and they couldn't stop the process, meaning the Biden administration. Listen a little more.
21 years is enough, don't we think? 21. They couldn't stop the process. They wanted to, but it was very tough to stop the process.
They wanted to, but it was very tough. They couldn't stop it. See, that the Biden administration didn't want to do it the way Trump had it set to be done, but it was already a deal that was made with many nations. This is that deal, that peace deal made with many nations. Listen to this. This is proof that he knew it was going to fall apart. He admits it, and this is his latest rally.
By a government that wouldn't last. The only way they last is if we're there. What are we going to do?
There's your absolute proof. He knew that it would fall apart. The only way it would last if we were there. The Biden administration tried to stop it, but he brags they could not stop it. So when you're looking at a bad tree and you're picking from that tree and you're seeing that the fruits of that tree are bad, make sure you go back to the root of the problem. See that sometimes it's not the branches, but only the root. And now you know where the root of the problem came from in Afghanistan. It began and is a result of the peace agreement that he himself knew when he made it that it was going to fall apart. And he even brags that he set things in motion that he knew could not be stopped. He brags about it, people. There's your root of the problem. There he is bragging about it. He is the root of the problem. Make sure y'all see through the lies and deceit of the serpent. He is the great deceiver. And they're all in it together, people. God bless.